Hey guys, Tarke here, and today I'm going to be doing a build breakdown on my friend Kane's Sunder Slayer. And the reason why I'm doing a breakdown on it is my friend Kane has been destroying the Hardcore Ladder. He's currently rank 5, playing pretty much completely solo, and he's just all around a pretty cool guy. So we're going to give him a little bit of like, look at what he's come up with. Now it is Sunder, it's not the coolest thing in the world, but it is Slayer and is, I think, stronger than the Gladiator option with the current state of Atlas and map bosses. So, also, let's give a brief shout out to peeweebuilds.io. If you're ever trying to work out what you want to do for a build, just plug this link in and you can search for the top of the equivalent ladder or SSF ladder or whatever. You then see their stuff, you see their gear, you see their links, and then you can get a link over to their profile, etc. So, why did Kane decide to go cat? Why did Kane decide to go cat over Gladiator? Now, his whole thought process was he knew that the boss damage was going to be... Sorry, the boss life was going to be an issue, and the 20% cull from Slayer is particularly powerful. Now, he played a lot of Gladiator in the past. Let me leave said cat. And we were actually planning on playing duo at the start of this league, but I decided to have a social life instead, and as a result, he's now at rank 5 on ladder. Think of that what you will. So, he's rocking a Belly of the Beast since he has gone dual wield, and the thought process of going dual wield over two-hand, in Kane's own words, is yes, while you will get more damage with two-hand, you get to the point where you just have enough damage and you'll have better movement speed options going for dual wield. You'll just move faster, and it's just better quality of life, and it makes some of his routing on the tree a bit neater in certain areas. So because of that, he's going for a Belly of the Beast chest rather than a Combs with a 6-link two-hand. And Sunder, multi-strike, conk effect. Very important thing about concentrated effect with Sunder is the Sunder animation itself, like the girthy shaft of damage, that isn't affected by AoE. It's the bukkake explosions when you kill mobs. That's what gets affected by AoE modifiers. It's why Concentrate Effect is so powerful in Sunder, and it's part of the reason why Sunder is such a strong shaft of damage. Now, once you've gone past that, you then want to go with Melee Fizz, Damage on Full Life, and Maim. Now, Maim is really powerful since it gives you more Fizz damage, chance to Maim. Maim gives you a nice little slow effect in there. Take 10% increase, that is a more multi, and another take. So you've got, 30% more fizz damage in there than with taking up to, 24% on there. Really strong multiplier, really, really solid. For your stat stick options, you can go for a few different things depending on your setup. Kane opted for a Prismatic Eclipse. You can go for Tempestuous Steel, which gives you fizz to Ellie conversion. This just gives you a whole boatload of attack speed, and that's why he's gone for that. And yeah, it's like the more green gems you have, the more attack speed, so on and so forth. For your main hand weapon, axes are generally the way to go because axes have the best nodes. Just get whatever can give you the most raw physical. Hemophilia gloves. Now, I know not everyone likes these gloves, but Kane is a big fan of them. The main reason why he goes for them and why he likes to hit them into any build that he can is it gives you corpse detonation, and you get to replicate the Gladiator playstyle. So what you do is these gloves give you attacks have a chance to cause bleeding. Nearly all of the fizz nodes now have some kind of bleed support in them. You get a little bit of additional chance to bleed on the tree there. And bleeding enemies you kill explode, dealing 5% of their maximum life as fizz damage. This gives you a little bit of extra supplementary AoE clear, but the main thing is that corpse destruction. It makes you much safer in hardcore against stuff like porcupines. Really, really nice, really undervalued aspect of these gloves, and it is the main reason why he runs them. Combs roots, no real surprise. A lot of people are going with these now that nearly everyone's playing life-based, but they free up your flask options quite substantially. Because you can't be slowed below base speed, this means you can't be affected by freeze and chills. You don't get stunned. This means you don't need to worry about running freeze removal on your flask. It means you can be very, very fucking greedy with your flask, as you can see he has. He's gone for curse removal on his Basalt because he's using Leap Slam as his main movement option. He's decided that he doesn't need a Quicksilver because he has enough movement speed. With a Taste of Hate then for raw damage, raw defense, very powerful in conjunction with the Basalt against physical damage. Learns Raw, more raw damage. It's Ziri's Promise, more raw damage, and it gives you Chaos Resistance. Kane is one of the few people I know who he loves Chaos Res. He often gems full Chaos Res. He hates Chaos damage. So, you know, not only do you get a lot of raw offense, you do also get quite a lot of often overlooked defense in that Chaos Res there. And then he runs Bleed Removal on his Seething. So otherwise, he's just gone for a pretty straightforward setup of getting as much life and resist as he can on every single piece. Biscos, if your build can let you run any Ami, run Biscos. This is another one of those items that Kane loves to run in every single build he ever plays. Whenever we're playing together, he's always rocking a Biscos. But let's look at it into the raw pop stats. So, the tree is nothing that fancy. You've probably seen variations of this tree a million times before, but let's just break it down for what there is to break down. Again, Slayer, the reason you go for Slayer is you get Bane of Legends, gives you this 20% cull, very powerful new boss HP. It gives you Onslaught, you have this uptime across the entire map. It means you don't need to run a Silver Flask. Again, it gives you more options when it comes to running unique flasks. Headsman gives you reduced Fizz Reflect, quite nice. It also gives you more damage if you killed recently. The increased AoE doesn't mean that much, as we've previously established the way that Sunder's Girth works, but anyway. Endless Hunger gives you nice leech. Brutal Further gives you immune to bleeding while leeching, and it gives you additional leech in there. You then ask, but why does he then run bleed removal on his Seething? It's just a little bit of additional defense. He could run a shock there. You could say, Kane, you should run shock there, but he just likes having that little bit of extra defense, just in case he's brain AFK. He doesn't want to die something really dumb. In terms of Ascendancy order, you would rush Bane of Legends first. You would then pick up Brutal Further from your Cruel into Merc Lab, and you'd pick up Headsman last. For routing, you can pick up this 1 point for attack speed and accuracy. It's very strong for 1 point of attack speed, but you don't need the accuracy once you get RT. Pretty straightforward. You just root through, boom, 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 boom. Get Art of the Gladiator, get some early damage. If you need resist, get Cloth and Chain. You kind of just beeline towards RT for the raw leveling aspect, but we'll just break down the full tree. Again, for Jules, you can see kind of the stats he's going for. He's trying to get as much raw melee fizz as possible and getting a little bit of life. The poison chance on there, that's just complete whatever. It was just, can I get it? Great, but he wasn't really focusing on it at all. Always prioritize life and any generic damage you can get. Pick up all of this leech. All of this leech in conjunction with this leech means you have a whole lot of leech. He's picking up Wisdom of the Glade for stat requirements. Also, picking up Int on the tree makes your Int requirements on gear much lighter. It means you can focus on just stacking life on everything, which with the new hybrid life rolls is very attractive. Come through, pick up all the life. Again, he's level 98, so he has filled in a lot of points you wouldn't necessarily. But to trim down the points a little bit, it's kind of obvious what you drop. You would drop these points here, you drop these points here. You're now at a 110 tree, you're now still 200% life in the tree. It makes sense, right? Okay. So, come through, Druidic Rites plus Primal Spirit. Kane's one of those guys, he loves running these two in every build that he runs. He likes having all his flasks up. Again, if you look back at the flasks he's running, it makes sense why he wants these flasks up all the time. He's running a lot of raw DPS from the flasks and a lot of raw physical defense. It's very powerful, and also having this little bit of extra mana, it's just a nice bit of quality of life when it comes to spamming your skills, no worries. Come through, pick up life. Herbalism plus Belly gives you very powerful raw instant life flasks. Part of the reason why he still chooses to run one life flask. A lot of people are dropping them completely, but personally for hardcore, I wouldn't. Come through, get all these really super efficient dual wield nodes. Another reason for dual wield over two-hand is rooting like this is just very efficient through Ranger. Heart of Oak, more life, more regen. Primal Spirit already covered. Flask charges also gives you some int, helps your requirements. Get some more life. Life is always super powerful. This is pretty self-explanatory. Pick up the super efficient dual wield nodes. These also give a bunch of attack speed. Attack speed makes your leap stand better. Pick up all the life because life and hardcore and life. Come through, life, life. Get the easy fizz damage, get the life, pick up the Axonate, pick up the Axonates. Again, these trees, they basically make themselves, but you get the idea, right? Again, just a really, really solid jewel. It gives him 2 raw damage stats, gives him some life, gives him RT. That's basically that. Other important things to notice when it comes about the skill setup is Whirling Blades versus Leap Slam, pick and choose. Some people prefer some prefer others. Also depends what maps you're running. Kane was doing Mesa and Racecourse for a long time. Mesa is bugged. It has a lot of blocked off paths in it. So if you are running Mesa regularly, make sure you're running Leap Slam. Racecourse doesn't really matter what you're running. Valgrace over Val Haste, just a defensive option that you decide to opt for. Throw in the increased duration Blood Rage, just a little bit of quality of life. For auras, he's going with Herald of Ash, Hatred, Arctic Armor, Enlighten. Until you can run the Enlighten, if you had to pick between them, go with Hatred and Herald of Ash. The Arctic Armor is a nice piece of quality of life, a little bit of extra defense. The Chill is also very strong defensive. When you can fit it in, when you can afford the Enlighten, brilliant. Otherwise, just swap a Enfeeble into a cast and damage taken setup. You can also run a Mortal Call and all that other stuff if you want to. Kane decided he didn't need it, and he was fine with that. But yeah, that's basically that. Pretty straightforward. Get the best life DPS jewels you can. Fix up your resists where you need to. This is a very common kind of jewel to go for. You can see that he needs some resist. So here he's got 10 all res and then 12 fire and cold with some fizz and attack speed. Makes his movement options a little bit better. And again, get strength, get life, get res, get strength, get life, get res, get as much life and res as you can. Nothing too absurd with the gearing. Obviously, he's been on this character for a very long time. Obviously, he's level 98. Obviously, he's currently rank 5 on ladder. But considering he's been playing completely solo, it goes to show that you don't need too fancy of a build to make things work for you. So yeah, this is Tarke, and this is Kane's character. If you want to find his profile, I'll leave a link to it down below, and also if you type !plebs into my Twitch channel, a bunch of profiles come up with people I regularly play with, and Kane, I believe, is at the front of that list. But yes, I'm Tarke, and you are seeing this video in the future and all past, because I'm currently partying it up in Edinburgh, which is why I'm wearing the same jumper I was wearing in my last video, so anyone noticed that earlier, good on you. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.